Here we go then, it's wet here in Istanbul Park today.
And if conditions stay like this through qualifying and tomorrow, it is going to be quite the lottery. You warm the inters and the wets up less than the slicks in the blankets, and already then Max Verstappen could not find enough purchase to slow the car down, and he's straight round as well for good measure. A typical Verstappen type slide, plays with the brake pedal and squares it back up again.
Now, race control has decided now is the time to wave that red flag, and these are appalling conditions for all the drivers. So twitchy, isn't it, that car, every time he puts his foot down.
And of course Leclerc's the man and most under pressure, isn't he, in 16th as well for good measure.
And that is Romain Grosjean, and he has beached his Haas. That's not going anywhere, and there's another red flag. I was going to say he's not going anywhere in a hurry, but it's the second red flag of the session. The clock stops at 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Verstappen is going to go, I think, right to the top of the charts, and he does. So Verstappen
by 8 seconds.
Yeah, with the fastest time. It's like a new entry at number 1. It's Max Verstappen. Alex Albon goes second fastest. Next man to cross the line will be Kimi Räikkönen. We're on board with Räikkönen. He goes third fastest. Things are going to start to change around. There's a double yellow being thrown in the middle part of the track at the moment as we look now to see Sebastian Vettel go fourth fastest. So those that are getting to the end of this lap, they are improving, and they're improving by quite a substantial amount. Charles Leclerc is in the bottom 5, needs to get out of it, goes fifth fastest, but those behind him, can they keep that Ferrari driver back in the bottom 5? Well, Giovinazzi's not going to, because he goes only 8th fastest. Esteban Ocon was the quickest driver overall. He stays 6th fastest with his best time of a 2:07.4. George Russell will start at the back of the grid. Would dearly love, though, to be in Q2, and that's not going to happen because he's only 16th fastest as Carlos Sainz goes 10th fastest behind Charles Leclerc. Daniel Ricciardo goes 6th fastest, and Pierre Gasly now goes 6th fastest. So Danny Kvyat, who's had a spin after leaving the pits, Kevin Magnussen at risk as well.
Hamilton's at risk. Hamilton's not having a great lap out there at the moment.
He's certainly not lighting up his tyres the way he would want. Neither did Valtteri Bottas there. Only 9th fastest for Bottas. Norris goes 10th fastest overall, pushes Hamilton down into 14th overall, but I think he's going to be okay because both Perez and Kvyat have pitted. Nicholas Latifi, whoa, couldn't see much, and then he finds himself in the gravel and not able to go anywhere. Kimi Räikkönen has put in his best first sector of this lap, as has his teammate Antonio Giovinazzi. Lando Norris, meanwhile, has put in a personal best through that first sector, half a second quicker than Sebastian Vettel. Gasly, only 15th. Slowest of all the times. Kimi Räikkönen 6th and comfortably through to Q3. Giovinazzi is currently 10th, crosses the line, now goes 5th fastest. I think we can say Alfa Romeo have 2 cars in the top 10, can't we? Esteban Ocon goes 6th fastest overall. Now Lando Norris is the next one to cross the line, currently is missing Q3 and is going to stay out of Q3 for only the second time in the last 20 races, I think it is. Lando Norris misses out on a Q3 appearance. Can Sebastian Vettel get into the top 10? No. Sadly, he's about half a second down on what he needs to get through. So it's Charles Leclerc, the last hope for Ferrari, in a Q3 spot here in Turkey this afternoon. He'll see the checkered flag, and that is it for his qualifying. Both Ferraris out in Q2.
That's a great surprise, isn't it? And both McLarens as well in there. So Ricciardo just squeaks through for Renault. Verstappen is on fire.
To the max, to the line, 1:52.3 for Max Verstappen. That is just his first lap of many in this final qualifying session, and it might be too good for quite a few. Alex Albon a 1:56.4 as he crosses the line. Kimi Räikkönen in the 1:57s. Räikkönen's teammate Antonio Giovinazzi will be next to cross the line in the 1:58s. What about Esteban Ocon? We've said already in this session, a handy driver in the wet. He was 5th on the grid in the wet in Austria for their second race. He's 5th fastest so far here. That's slowest at the moment. Bottas crosses the line with a 1:56.4, so far back from Max Verstappen. You probably need a telescope from Bottas's position to see Verstappen's time there. Ricciardo goes 4th. Lance Stroll on the wet tyre with a 153.8 puts his car provisionally onto the front row. But what of his teammate Sergio Perez? I said there was activity going on in that Racing Point garage, and I think they swapped at the last minute from wets to inters for Sergio Perez to see if that can help him to a better time. He's never started in the top 3 in Formula One. He's gone fastest of all on the Racing Point on the intermediate tyres. Now that's put the cat amongst the pigeons. Alex Albon's gone 4th fastest. Verstappen has 2nd fastest at the moment, so that front row lockout isn't happening as Ricciardo now goes onto the 2nd row. Stroll goes fastest through the middle sector. What difference is that going to make, I wonder? Esteban Ocon now crosses the line, goes 6th fastest. Lewis Hamilton is down in 9th. Valtteri Bottas is in 8th. Both have set personal bests through the 1st sector. Here comes Lance Stroll. Purple through the middle sector, personal best in the 1st sector. Can he dislodge his teammate Sergio Perez from pole position? Stroll crosses the line and he does go pole. 1:47.7. Lance Stroll is on pole for the first time in his career, unless Verstappen can do something about it. And Verstappen's matched him in the 1st sector and is 2/10 down in the middle sector. Here comes Hamilton next. Hamilton crosses the line, only 6th fastest on the weekend. He could become world champion.
So it's all down to the final sector for Max Verstappen if he wants to steal pole position back.
Here comes Valtteri Bottas, only 9th on the weekend that he needs to beat his teammate to keep alive the World Championship. Now, here comes Max Verstappen. Is it Stroll or is it Max Verstappen on pole? It is Lance Stroll on pole position for the first time in his career. Racing Point have done it. Red Bull have to settle for 2nd on the grid. What a qualifying session that was. And for Lance Stroll, in his 75th race in Formula One, takes pole position.
That's it, P1, P1. Yes, boys! Let's go! Let's go! Yes!